Hey, welcome to the English Podcast Lab. I'm Mike, and we've got a fascinating deep dive for you today.
Yeah.
All about the power of reading.
I'm Sarah, and I think you'll be surprised by just how much reading impacts our lives
Oh, yeah.
in ways you might not even realize.
It goes way beyond
Right.
just learning new words or escaping into a good story.
Exactly.
We're talking about boosting your brain power, becoming more emotionally intelligent,
Yeah.
even potentially living longer just from reading.
It's true. Reading is like a mental workout for your brain.
Yeah.
Every time you engage with a text,
Oh, wow.
you're strengthening neural connections
Okay.
and building up your cognitive reserve.
It's like hitting the gym for your mind.
Yeah.
And the best part is you don't even have to break a sweat. You could just curl up with a good book and let your brain do the heavy lifting.
They've actually done studies using MRI scans
Really?
to see what happens in the brain while people are reading.
Interesting.
And the results are fascinating. The areas that light up are the same ones that process physical sensations and movement.
So it's almost like your brain is experiencing the story firsthand. Not just reading the words, but living them.
Exactly. And this increased brain activity isn't just a fleeting thing. It can last for days after you finish reading a particularly engaging book.
Wow, so it's like a long-lasting mental workout.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of workouts, reading also does wonders for your memory.
Think about it. When you're following a plot, trying to remember characters' names or absorbing factual information,
Right.
your brain is constantly working to store and retrieve details.
It's like a muscle that gets stronger with use. And the more you read, the better your memory becomes.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Studies show that people who make reading a lifelong habit
Okay,
are actually less likely to experience cognitive decline as they age.
so reading could actually help protect against conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. And it highlights just how powerful reading can be for maintaining brain health throughout our lives.
Now let's shift gears and talk about emotional intelligence, which is something we often don't associate with reading.
Yeah.
But it turns out there's a strong connection.
Especially when it comes to fiction, stepping into a character's shoes allows us to experience the world from their perspective,
Right.
to understand their thoughts, feelings, and motivations.
Like a crash course in empathy. You're literally putting yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing the world through their eyes.
Researchers have a term for this. They call it theory of mind.
Okay.
And studies have shown that fiction readers tend to have a stronger theory of mind
Interesting.
compared to non-fiction reader.
Which makes sense. The more you're exposed to different characters and their inner lives, the better you become at understanding how other people think and feel.
And this ability to empathize is crucial for so many aspects of life,
Yeah.
from navigating social situations to building strong relationships.
It's not just about book smarts. It's about people smarts.
Yeah.
And reading can definitely help you develop those skills.
Now let's talk about stress, because I think we can all agree that we could use a little less of that in our lives.
Right.
Well, it turns out that reading is a fantastic stress reliever.
It really is. Studies have shown that reading can reduce stress levels by up to 68%.
Wow.
That's comparable to activities like yoga or even humor.
Think about it. When you're engrossed in a good book, you're escaping from the daily grind. You're giving your mind a break from all the worries and anxieties that tend to weigh us down.
It's like a mini vacation for your brain. And it's a much healthier coping mechanism
Right.
than, say, scrolling through social media
Totally.
or binge watching TV.
Absolutely. Reading allows you to disconnect from the constant stimulation of the digital world and enter a world of your own choosing.
And speaking of disconnecting, reading can also do wonders for your sleep.
Reading before bed can be a great way to signal to your body that it's time to wind down. It's a calming activity that can help you relax and drift off to sleep more easily.
But there's a caveat here. This mostly applies to reading physical books, not ebooks or scrolling on your phone.
That's because the blue light emitted from electronic devices can interfere with your sleep cycle, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
So if you're looking to improve your sleep quality, reach for a good old-fashioned paper book before you hit the hay.
Now, you might be surprised to learn that reading can also enhance your communication skills.
I know it seems counterintuitive since reading is a solitary activity, but it makes sense when you think about it.
The more you read, the more you're exposed to different writing styles, vocabulary, and sentence structures. It's like taking a masterclass in language.
Exactly. And this exposure can have a significant impact on your own writing abilities. You start to develop a richer vocabulary, a better understanding of grammar, and a more sophisticated writing style.
And these improved writing skills are incredibly valuable in both personal and professional settings, from crafting compelling emails to writing persuasive reports.
Right.
Strong communication skills are essential.
Absolutely. And it's not just about writing. Reading can also improve your speaking skills. The more you read, the more you expand your vocabulary, and the more comfortable you become with using complex sentence structures.
It's like a virtuous cycle. The more you read, the better you become at both writing and speaking, which benefits you in countless ways.
So if you want to become a more articulate and confident communicator, make reading a regular habit. It's an investment in yourself that will pay off in all areas of your life.
Now let's dive into some of the more unexpected benefits of reading.
Okay.
Starting with the fact that it may actually help you live longer.
I know it sounds crazy, but there's actually scientific evidence to suggest that book readers tend to have longer lifespans.
It's fascinating to think that something as simple as reading could have such a profound impact on our health and longevity.
Yeah.
But when you consider all the benefits we've already discussed,
Right.
it starts to make sense.
Reading keeps your brain active, reduces stress, improves sleep, and even helps you connect with others on a deeper level. All of these factors contribute to overall well-being and a healthier, happier life.
Absolutely. And finally, let's address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
The debate between print books and digital reading.
Ah, yes, the age-old battle. While both have their merits, research suggests that print books might offer some advantages when it comes to comprehension and retention.
There's a growing body of evidence suggesting that reading a physical book offers a slower, more focused reading experience.
Think about it. When you're reading a physical book, you're less likely to be distracted by notifications or hyperlinks. You're more present with the text and less tempted to skim or skip ahead.
And this deeper level of engagement could lead to better understanding and retention of the material.
Of course, digital reading has its perks too. It's convenient, portable, and often more affordable. But if you're looking to really absorb what you're reading, a physical book might be the way to go.
Now, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on all of this? What stands out to you as the most compelling benefit of reading?
For me, it's the brain power boost. I love the idea that reading is like a mental workout, strengthening my neural networks and keeping my mind sharp. It feels like an investment in my long-term cognitive health.
I completely agree. And I'm also fascinated by the research linking reading to increased lifespan. It's incredible to think that something as enjoyable as reading could actually help us live longer, healthier lives.
It's a reminder that self-care isn't just about bubble baths and face masks.
Right.
It's about engaging in activities that nourish our minds and bodies.
Yeah.
And reading definitely fits the bill.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the simple joy of reading, getting lost in a good story, exploring new worlds, and expanding our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
It's a gift we give ourselves, one that enriches our lives in countless ways.
Well said. And here's a final thought to leave you with. Given everything we've learned about the impact of reading, how might we encourage more people, especially young people, to rediscover the joy and benefits of reading in a world increasingly dominated by screens?
That's a great question, and one that deserves serious consideration.
Mm-hmm.
After all, reading is a gift that keeps on giving, and we need to find ways to share that gift with future generations.
I couldn't agree more. Perhaps we need to reframe reading as not just an educational activity, but as a form of entertainment, a source of relaxation, and a gateway to a richer, more fulfilling life.
It's about rediscovering the magic of reading and sharing that magic with the world.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Beautifully said. And you know what's interesting to me is how the very nature of reading is evolving alongside technology.
Okay, let's unpack that. What do you
No, we've been focusing on traditional reading, but think about the rise of audiobooks and podcasts, like what we're doing right now. People are absorbing information through listening.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It challenges our assumptions about what reading actually means.
Exactly. We're expanding the definition to include auditory intake. And that opens up a whole new world of possibilities, especially for people who might struggle with traditional reading.
So could audiobooks and podcasts actually become the dominant forms of reading in the future?
It's definitely possible, especially as technology advances and these formats become even more accessible and engaging.
Right.
But I don't think traditional reading will ever disappear completely.
I agree.
There's something special about holding a physical book, turning the pages.
Yeah.
It's a sensory experience that technology can't fully replicate.
I agree. There's a certain magic to curling up with a physical book. It's a ritual, a form of self-care,
Yeah.
a way to disconnect from the digital world,
Right.
and truly immerse yourself in a story.
Absolutely. So while the future of reading might be a hybrid of traditional and digital formats, I think both will continue to play important roles in our lives.
And that's exciting, because it means we have more options than ever before for engaging with information and stories. We can choose the format that best suits our needs and preferences.
Precisely. And this diversity of formats can make reading more accessible to a wider range of people, including those with visual impairments, learning disabilities, or busy schedules.
Yeah, it's about breaking down barriers and making the joy and benefits of reading available to everyone.
Exactly. And who knows what new and innovative reading formats will emerge in the future. The possibilities are endless.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah.
but I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The idea that reading can actually help us live longer.
Right. And it's not just about living longer.
Right.
It's about living better. Reading can improve our quality of life in so many ways.
It's like a secret weapon for a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life.
And the best part is it's a secret weapon that's readily available to everyone.
Yeah,
Regardless of your age, income, or background, you can reap the benefits of reading.
it's a gift we give ourselves and one that keeps on giving.
Speaking of gifts,
Yeah,
I think this deep dive has been a gift in itself.
I agree.
It's been a fascinating exploration of the multifaceted benefits of reading.
We've uncovered some truly remarkable insights, and I feel inspired to make reading an even bigger part of my life.
Me too. And I hope our listeners feel the same way.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
After all, who wouldn't want to boost their brain power, enhance their emotional intelligence, reduce stress,
Right.
and potentially even live longer, all through the simple act of reading?
It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest things in life are the most powerful.
Well said.
Yeah.
And with that, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
But before we do, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
Given everything we've learned about the transformative power of reading, how can we each use this knowledge to make a positive impact on the world around us?
That's a great question, and one that I encourage everyone listening to reflect on.
Perhaps it's about sharing our love of reading with others.
Yeah.
Starting a book club, donating books to those in need, or simply advocating for the importance of literacy in our communities.
Or maybe it's about using the knowledge we've gained through reading to become more informed citizens, to make a difference in our chosen fields, or to simply be more compassionate and understanding human beings.
The possibilities are endless, but one thing is certain. Reading has the power to change not only our own lives,
Right.
but the lives of those around us.
So let's use that power wisely. And let's continue to explore the world through the pages of books and through all the amazing formats we have available to us today.
Well said. And on that note, we'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite books, and why?
Yeah.
What impact has reading had on your life?
Share your thoughts on our social media channels or drop us an email. We're always eager to connect with fellow bookworms.
Until next time, keep those pages turning and keep exploring the world through the magic of reading.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of reading.
It really has been a fascinating journey.
It has.
Yeah.
And, I think we've just scratched the surface here.
I think so too. There's always more to discover about the power of words and stories.
So to everyone listening out there, keep exploring, keep reading, keep learning.
And keep those pages turning. We'll see you next time on the English Podcast Lab.